Hey friends, what's up? It is Keith here with producer extraordinaire James Curtis Thomas, and we're back in the live room at Essex Recording Studios with Kim Waller, founder and head of licklibrary.com.
Hey guys.
Awesome guitar site. Kim, welcome to the studio. You've been hanging out with us. What do you think, man?
Fantastic.
Oh.
Absolutely fantastic place. Awesome.
Thanks a lot. We really appreciate it. So, our channel has thousands of rabid guitar fans, and I didn't realize when you were coming in for this project that we're doing today, top secret project, but I didn't realize that when you were coming in that you were the head of Lick Library. I mean, we've had Phil Shorten here. He plays for you. We've had a few other guitarists come through the studio that have done some stuff for you. Phenomenal work. Please tell our followers about your company and what you do.
Licklibrary.com, it's probably the largest online resource for guitarists. If you think Netflix for guitarists, you've got Lick Library.
I like that.
You know, we've got thousands and thousands of lessons. It's a very similar deal to Netflix. You pay about £12 a month, $14 a month.
$14, yeah.
$14 a month. You've got access 24/7 to thousands and thousands of lessons. Also, these lessons are by some of the best tutors in the world. And I think there's a lot of tutors out there.
Yeah.
But not everyone gets it right, and you can spend your life trawling through YouTube to try and find a lesson that is actually taught properly.
For sure.
Our guys just get it right. We've got Guthrie Govan.
Wow, huge.
Danny Gill.
Huge.
You know, there's so many people. Jamie Humphries. Through the years, people that have worked with us, and they're phenomenal players. Andy James, a shredder in his own right. You know,
yeah.
The best in the world. He's done a bunch of stuff with us. So if you want to learn, and you want to learn well, and you want to learn to play a song, and I would say probably our unique sales point is, we have hundreds and hundreds of song lessons, classic rock, classic blues, modern.
For like specific songs?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You want to learn to play, not that you do these days, Stairway to Heaven, it's banned in music stores worldwide, I think, but whether it's Sabbath, whether it's Deep Purple, whether it's Free, some of the classic rock stuff, more modern metal, although they call it classic now, like Metallica.
Yeah.
Bullet for My Valentine.
Oh yeah, those guys are great. Actually, Matt Tuck has been in our studio.
Yeah, I heard already.
Yeah.
You want some acoustic stuff. If you want to learn some James Taylor,
wow.
We've got all this stuff. Ed Sheeran, more modern stuff. But
this is
there's
great.
Something for everyone. I think one of the key things really is that we've got songs for beginners, so we can take you from your first steps of learning to play guitar, right through to playing like your guitar idol. And another key thing that I'm just going to throw in here is another big part of what we do with the backing tracks. So if you can learn a song, and let's say you learn Sweet Child of Mine, Guns N' Roses, we've got a full band backing track. It's live drums, live keyboards if necessary.
That's cool.
That's wild.
So it's not the MIDI.
No. This is real backing.
Wow.
Tracks. And so you can learn the song, and you just start streaming your backing track, and you can play along.
That's incredible.
Download these tracks. If you're out gigging, you can download our tracks. You can use them to gig with as well. Just give us a credit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, you brought up a really good point because I don't know who told me this saying years and years ago, but it's not practice makes perfect. It's perfect practice makes perfect. You can practice the wrong thing. You can get a lot of bad habits.
You can get stuck.
There's a lot of cowboys out there. And one thing, my buddy Levi Clay, I was on his podcast, and one thing he calls out a lot are these guys that do these YouTube and online lessons, and they go back and they edit them. And what they're playing on the fingerboard isn't matching what you're hearing sonically, and it's some like really dangerous stuff to get to. One, they're taking your money, and they're kind of swindling people, and they're not teaching you properly. So this is pretty wild when you're talking about artists at these level. And one of the things that I really like is, like, we had Phil Short come into our studio. He works for you. He does these lessons, and not only do you progress, but you're seeing real people who themselves are progressing tremendously. I mean, Phil, he won, what was Guitar Idol? Best guitarist in the world, Guitar Idol. He's now touring for Westlife. He's doing a huge, giant 30,000 crowd arena, and he's got you to thank for a lot of this because,
okay. We might have given him some profile.
Sure.
He could play.
But if people follow your company and your lessons, they can play too.
They will get better. we've got some of the best educators in the world, and it comes down to the educator.
Yes.
The educator's got to be engaging, he's got to be inspiring, and he's got to be able to play.
Good point. You can be great at guitar, you might not be a great educator.
No. And there's a lot of people out there who can play really, really, really well, but they can't necessarily translate that into talking the way we're talking now, or educating someone, through a TV.
Yeah.
And it's just not what they do best. What they might do best is songwriting or playing. These guys, not only can they write songs, our kind of stable of educators, but they engage with the tutor. So they engage with the student.
Yeah.
And it will, if you're inspired.
So like they'll respond, like if you have like a question or something like that, can they reach out to them or email them, or?
You can reach out to all these guys.
Yeah.
You can find anyone these days.
Absolutely. On social media, all that stuff.
Absolutely. But you will learn if you watch our lessons. You'll learn to play it the right way. You'll learn to get the right sound, which again is a big deal.
Yeah.
And I would say there's some of the best in the world at the library right now. And there's thousands and thousands of lessons. And I say the songs and the backing tracks are kind of key for us. It's where we started. We started with backing tracks and, learn songs. I think the very first, I've got to think about it, we were Total Accuracy before we were Lick Library.
Yeah, okay.
Back in the day, we produced CDs with, if you remember, cassettes. The education was kind of on cassettes.
Yeah.
But we had the backing tracks as well.
Oh, cool.
And, we did Satriani and Hendrix and, some real classics back then. And it's just developed through the years, but it originated with great education, teach people how to play it exactly the right way. Every little jit and jot on this song will teach you and give you a backing track, because if you've got a great sounding backing track, you sound better and you're inspired and you can play along with this, and all of a sudden you're playing a song, and that's a massive step for a lot of people.
Yeah.
To go from just kind of jamming on the sofa to actually playing along, playing a song and getting the song nailed from start to finish and playing it right. Because there's a lot of ways. You look around YouTube, there's 10,000 different ways probably to play Stairway to Heaven, or
you go on like Ultimate Guitar tabs, and they have like 500 different submissions. How do you know which one's right?
No, exactly. And that's why, you can filter all that crap out by coming to a site like ours, where you will get to learn the song the way it was originally played.
Okay. And James, you put a good amount of time practicing guitar. You're primarily a drummer and a producer and an engineer. But so for someone like James wants to sign up. Is there an app? How does it work? What does he do?
Go to licklibrary.com. There's a 30-day free trial.
Oh.
You've got absolutely nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose at all. If you come along, if you don't like it, and I'd be amazed if you didn't like it, but perhaps serious learning isn't for everyone. But if you come along and you don't like it, you pay nothing. But we give you 30 days to try out all these songs.
That's more than fair.
No. I mean, how much do you spend on a
kebab?
More than that.
And you don't have to be in the UK. You can be in other countries.
This is global.
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world. And we have visits. I kind of looked on Google. I think there's like 100 and I couldn't tell you the exact number. It's something like 182 countries in the world saying we had a visit from like 178. There was like that hadn't been to us. That's in the last 30 days.
That's wild.
So we've got a global audience, we've got global fans, and these people are always they follow us. They religiously follow what we do, because once you find something that's good, you're going to stick with it.
Yeah.
You really are. You really are.
What are you noticing as far as trends with people learning guitar today versus 20 years ago? Is it all very much the same?
I'd say it's easier to learn, because 20 years ago you didn't. Okay, the internet was in its infancy.
Yeah.
Lick Library came online now 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So we were around at the time of dial-up modem, for people that remember that.
So you've been through the trenches. You have grown with the internet.
The concept that I came up with was so far ahead of the technology at the time. It was obvious that technology was going to catch up.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't the same opportunities to learn. Back then it was private teachers.
Yeah.
The internet, as I say, hadn't really taken shape. YouTube didn't turn up, I don't think, until
2006, about 06, 07, yeah.
So we were there ahead of YouTube. So you didn't have these resources. More people learn now because there's more opportunity to go and learn.
Yeah.
It's so accessible. You press a button, you can go and learn songs.
It's incredible.
So I think learning guitar is a great thing to do. You know, nailing that first song, whether it's a Beatles song, whether it's an Ed Sheeran song, whatever it happens to be, you know, it's a great achievement for anyone that wants to be a musician. And the opportunity's there. And if you want to do it well, you want to do it right, you want great tutors, we've got that for you at Lick Library.
That's phenomenal. All right, guys, you heard it from the man himself. The credentials don't get much better than that, and it costs you nada for 30 days. I mean, give it a shot. But, you know, what do you have to lose?
Nothing. Yeah.
Amazing. And Kim, thank you so much for coming, checking out our studio, supporting independent music. You know, we built this place for people like you to come here, and without your support, we wouldn't be here. So thanks a lot, man.
Thank you. This is a great setup.
Oh.
I can't recommend it enough.
You're too kind.
Wow, it's a cool place.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, this has been Keith and James from Essex Recording Studios with Kim from Lick Library. And we'll catch you all later. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Go check out licklibrary.com. And stay tuned because we got some killer guitar videos coming up next on the channel. Later, guys.